Being creative can help you in so many different aspects of your life.
The arts not only influence our lives, but it also influences all the other fields of school.
You might not think that being a creative person and doing art can help you in your science classes or in your math classes, but it definitely gives you that edge.
It's allowed me to become more creative, and it's allowed me to be able to express myself.
It also gave me a place, a way to feel like a belonging within not only my schools, but then beyond.
The impact that arts education has had on my life started when I started doing art, which was a long time ago. I can't even place like a number on it.
I am very involved in theater, choir, dance, production. So I'm a very artsy person, and the arts are centered of a lot of my hobbies.
The thing that it gave me the most was voice and a way to communicate.
It's allowed me to become more creative, and it's allowed me to be able to express myself on a greater level than I was able to before I discovered arts.
I've been doing art since I was really small, and I think the biggest thing that it's taught me is that being creative can help you in so many different aspects of your life. You might not think that being a creative person and doing art can help you in your science classes or in your math classes, but it definitely gives you that edge of creative thinking, which is something that's important in so many different other aspects of life.
It offered me an opportunity through not only music and playing in the band and singing with the choirs, but also through dance and through theater, to give me a way to communicate with others in a way that I connected with.
It's also given me a sense of community and a place where I belong.
That also gave me a place.
In high school, being in the arts classes and being in the arts program at my high school has given me a lot of the friends that I have, and it's introduced me to a whole lot of people who think like I do.
A way to feel like a belonging within not only my schools, but then beyond throughout my career.
My school, for example, it has a really great arts program, and it's really supported. It's very much funded. So since I am so blessed and I'm able to have a great arts education program, I want to advocate for schools that maybe don't have that access or maybe are underfunded, unlike my school.
Everybody's got to find their tribe, and the arts gave that to me.
I think the arts plays a huge role in the emotional stability of students.
Arts is able to build empathy through being able to express yourself in different ways. So whether you're doing poetry, writing, painting, you're able to let out a lot of feelings that you aren't necessarily allowed to in normal life.
I think it's really important that we make sure that students have access to quality arts education in K-12 schools. One of those reasons is to meet their social emotional learning needs and mental health.
It is a way to de-stress for a lot of students. I know personally for me, art is a way to de-stress because a lot of other classes can be very demanding in terms of academic rigor.
You could be really frustrated about a test that you just took.
There have been so many studies. There are mental health benefits of performing in the arts because the arts is a community where it's a very safe space, and when schools try to take away arts programs, it takes away that safe space that students have.
But art is something where it's not as objective. It's a lot more subjective. It's a lot more based on what you want to do, what you want to explore. And it's something that even for some people, the process of creating art itself, for me, for painting, it's like a meditative process.
Our students are struggling now more than ever, I think, and the arts give them a way to express their emotions.
They're able to be themselves, they're able to be creative, they're able to show a part of themselves that they maybe have never shown before, and it really helps reduce stress and anxiety within students because when doing art, whether that's painting, whether that's dancing, whether that's doing theater, it's something you're passionate about, and when you're doing a passion, ultimately you're going to have reduced stress.
That could be a way that you express your feelings, and so that allows you to become a more empathetic person, and then later on you can grow as a result of that.
It's something that you kind of get lost in and you can do for a long time, and it helps you calm down.
It also gives them that sense of belonging and identity that is so important for our students to have in order for them to successfully develop their self-esteem, their self-awareness, their self-worth, and to become productive human beings in their later lives.
And it also really helps build empathy in students as well, because when you're participating in the arts, it can be individual, but it also can be collaboration. Like if you're doing theater or if you're on a dance team or color guard or something like that, it's collaboration. So you need to feel for others and you need to be able to communicate well with others, so it builds your communication skills.
It's great for mental wellness, and then it's definitely great for social connection with other students. There's so many things we can say with art that we can't say with words, and being able to say those things for students is very valuable because we can see what other people's stories are through art. It might be something that it's hard to put into words, but if we see it through their art, we can connect with them and understand people through on a greater level.
And if it is individually, it allows you to tap into a more emotional, vulnerable part of yourself and just paint your empathy on a canvas. In this post-pandemic world, it really shifted teens, their state of mental health and mental well-being, because being isolated for so long when humans, they're naturally social creatures, it really created some disconnect between teens, between their parents.
The arts give students a way to find their purpose within our schools because they give them a place to be them.
Arts education in the post-pandemic world plays an even greater role than it did prior to the pandemic, because now there are increased factors that you need to consider when looking at children's growth.
For youth who are struggling with school, arts education is especially important because it gives them some sort of alternate avenue in which they can succeed. If your grades are something that you struggle with, then art is something that you can get good grades in.
Students in the arts frequently are driven. They have opportunities to explore themselves, how they feel. They have ways to put it out there into the world through visual art or through their performances that they're doing. And I think that it's really important for our students. What we give them through the arts is that little bit of freedom for that creative chaos and not knowing where we might go.
Art, I see as an outlet for teens to use and kind of help cope with that, because ultimately art, you're not doing art alone. Even if you're painting a mural, you're really keeping in touch with your thoughts and your emotions and connecting to your memories, connecting to your past.
And that can include stressors from the pandemic, virtual learning, and these different factors have almost stunted children's growth. So arts can be a way that this can kind of be revived and we can move forward with.
If you find that maybe math isn't your thing or science isn't your thing, then art is something that can be your thing. And there's such a wide range of art. There's so many different types of art that you can do that you're bound to find one artistic expression that fits you and one method or one medium that really speaks to you.
They're still learning the skills and gaining the knowledge they need to become better at what they do as artists, but they're able to do that within a platform that they kind of have a little bit of choice, student voice in what that looks like, what that sounds like, what that becomes. And I think that that's what's really important and how the arts help to tackle those issues within our schools that students are having.
While doing art, you're also improving the kind of isolation that we had from COVID, from the pandemic. And also, while doing art, you are connecting with yourself in a way that maybe wasn't discovered before. And I think that's really, really important.
It's so important to keep arts within our schools because we need to offer opportunities for students to decide what they connect with.
What I would say to someone who is considering cutting an arts program in a K through 12 school is, first of all, it's a huge mistake.
I would tell them not to, because there are so many benefits to having arts programs?
Arts is just as important as any quote-unquote academic topics like STEM.
I mean, I personally was raised by arts teachers, was raised by arts programs. There's so many things that I owe to having an arts program in my school.
The arts not only influence like our lives, but it also influence all the other fields of school.
It provides, like I said, that creativity and expression that young kids need to be exposed to in order to grow and mature on a deeper level.
Some may decide they love the chess club. Some may decide they're on a sports team. And then there are the students that the arts are their home in all capacities, not just music and visual art, but theater and dance. And we need to have equal opportunity for students to participate in all facets of arts programs.
The arts is really about developing your creatives, and you need to be creative in every aspect of school. So cutting an arts program would really diminish that creative ability in students, and it would really have a negative impact of like the student body holistically.
I think that students should have the option to explore a creative outlet always. The only options shouldn't just be, and even if there is a creative option, we should try and have the most creative options possible.
So that they can find their tribe and they can find what makes them happy. Once students have that sense of identity and belonging within our arts programs, we then cultivate them to want to expand and explore their role within that organization.
Having that opportunity to explore can maybe help someone find their true passion. You know, there could be someone out there who has never tried sculptures, but because of that class and that opportunity that they get in school, they realize that that's their passion and they realize that's something they want to pursue. So having the opportunity for students is very helpful.
They have that sense of belonging with the group, with their tribe, with their arts corps, and then they want to step up as they move through it through the years. They want to help give that experience to the younger students. And through that, they're developing leadership skills that will carry them through life to have successful careers, successful families, successful homes, and be a successful part of our society.
And there are a lot of arts careers, and they will be successful and they are stable, but a lot of people just don't know about them. So I think also bringing awareness to these careers is also very important.
Eventually, when everything starts being automated, art might be the only thing that we have that isn't automated. That's something that requires emotion to be made and it requires like a human touch. So I think that having an arts background can help you in such a wide number of careers, and people don't really realize that.
I was inspired to join the first ever Youth Arts Ed Council because I wanted to expand my horizons and understand different disciplines of art.
What inspired me to join the first ever Arts Ed New Jersey Student Council was probably the opportunity to speak with so many different like-minded individuals who are also young artists and are also young artists in New Jersey.
The fact that I could interact with peers my age, but also have advisors that could help guide me through the realm of advocacy.
Acknowledging the fact that different areas in New Jersey had limited access to certain resources in the arts.
Because I think since I'm such an avid arts performer, I know how to advocate in other areas of my life, but learning how to do it in the arts field was really important to me.
And to discuss issues that are facing the arts in New Jersey and be introduced to the people who can help solve those issues. I think one thing that I was really excited about when joining the council is the number of conversations that I could have that would be impactful to changing arts education and the state of it in New Jersey, because that's something that impacts me on the day-to-day as an art student.
And so I knew I wanted to be part of the solution to that, and so I joined the Youth Arts Ed Council.
During my time with the Youth Arts Ed Council, some topics or discussions that really resonated with me and key takeaways I have is really just you have to be the change that you want to see in the world. Before this council, I didn't really have a background in advocacy, and I didn't know how to advocate for the arts, especially because I didn't really know they needed to be advocated for.
It's so important just to speak up about what you care about, and that you can get no as an answer, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying for advocating for whatever you care about.
Some key ideas that I've been introduced to on my time at the Arts Ed Council are ideas of artivism, which is something that we learned about in the council in one of our council sessions, which is something that I think is very relevant today. Artivism is basically when you use art as a means of activism, and when you try and spread a message or when you try and spread a word through art.
Now that I know that they need to be advocated for, I can make change in my community. And I think just especially talking to teens, young people, if you think that you can't make change, then you won't make change. So it's really all about your mindset.
And I think that's something that I've learned, that art can be a very powerful way for spreading messages and for uniting people, for bringing people together. Because, they say like a picture can say 1,000 words. Like, if you want to get a message out there, or if you want to show what's really happening in some situation, some scenario, art is a really powerful tool for that.
And also, to be open to learning about different things. When I was in the Arts Ed Council, I came in only knowing my expertise in painting. And so to broaden your horizons, you need to have an open mind and knowing that you can learn from, poets, writers, etc.
I've also learned one thing on the council, which is that art education is a group effort. It requires collaboration from a lot of different people in the state of New Jersey. And if we want to make arts education more accessible to everyone, one thing that's really important is spreading the word about arts education, and also spreading the word about budget cuts in schools and making sure that people are in the know so that they know how to advocate. That's another thing, that's a huge thing that I learned on the summit, arts education advocacy and how to advocate for arts education. I learned that there's so many ways that you can actually get in touch with your school or your school's Board of Education. You can attend Board of Ed meetings, you can put up posters. There's a lot that you can do to ask for arts education. I already have been applying these things in my own school through the Arts Ed NJ Youth Council. I've been putting up posters in the hallways, been spreading the word in our schools.
To extend the work that I've done during my time at the council in my own schools, I want to expand on the cohorts that we built. And so these were a great way to develop a little small community of artists in your area, especially if you're coming from a small town like I do, to create that little community where it may not else be present.
One of the ways that I think I'm going to continue is the creation of cohorts. So basically, we made arts education advocacy cohorts.
It's super important, and I want to expand on this through attracting more members, and not just in my town, but throughout my region as well.
It's our own mini council within our school. So I have a group of my friends and some other students who are interested and passionate about arts education. And we've been working together, and we've been creating posters. We've been talking about how we can improve the arts at our school. And I definitely want to implement more of these arts education advocacy techniques that we learned in the future.
In these cohorts, we just tried to recruit people to join the summit. We had discussions about arts education. We brainstormed ideas on how to maybe implement more arts education awareness in our school. We interviewed others to get their opinions on arts education. And in these cohorts, we really were able to make change. We were able to talk to administrators and try to promote the agenda of increased art exposure in the classroom.
If there's like a class you want in your school, there is definitely a way to ask for it. There's definitely a way to advocate for it and to get other students involved. So I've learned about the power in numbers, and I've learned about the power of advocacy and activism, especially when it relates to art.
I think that was very, very helpful in my journey of advocacy, because having a support group, or having really anyone, having a group of people, was extremely helpful in promoting the message, because people are more inclined to take that group of people than just one person like pursuing an agenda. So I think I'm going to continue my cohort because I really think it made a difference and made change.
And just spread the word in general, keep talking about it and keep it in the conversation of the school.
You have to be willing to make the change that you want to see, because without that, without a desire, without a wish, you really don't have anything.